Hello and welcome to episode 11 of How to Program in C++. Today we're going to be going over iteration structures, or as they are more commonly known, loops. Now, specifically today we're going over the while loop and the do while loop. These loops are extremely important to your program. Loops in general are a huge foundation of programming. In general, from now on you will be writing programs, except in these early tutorials, that will utilize loops heavily. In most cases you will have one main loop that your program keeps running through until the user decides to quit it. So, let's get started. First things first, I'm just going to create a variable, an integer, that we can keep track of so we know when our program's looping around. So I'm going to set value equal to 1. And now let's get... Yeah, that'll work fine. Let's get into the actual while loop. So, the keyword that you're looking for is a while. And the way you write a while loop is, first of all, you open the brackets, and in here, in these brackets, you put the expression that you want to evaluate. In this case, I'm going to write value is less than 10. And then we write our statement in. So in this case, let's just do value plus plus, which means value is incremented by 1, as we went over last time. So let's finally see out the value, the overall value that we arrive at, just so you guys know exactly what's going on. Okay, let's break it down a little bit more. So the way this while loop works is while this expression has the outcome of true, it will perform this statement. After it performs this statement, it will loop back around and check this expression again. And as it will keep on repeating this until this expression comes out as false. So, in this case, because a value is equal to 1, it will say, yes, value is less than 10. It will add on 1 onto value, and I'll check it again, I'll check it again, I'll check it again, until value is no longer less than 10. So, if this all goes according to plan, value should come out as 10 at the end of this, because it will have iterated through many times, and it has. Now, if I was to just set this to... for example, value is larger than 10, this will immediately come out as false. Therefore, this statement will never ever be executed. Therefore, we should receive a value of 1. Yes, we do. Now, if you say you want to execute more than just one statement, because that is generally what you do when you have a loop, well, you can use a block or compound statement, as we went over before. If you don't know what that means, then you might want to look back and go over it. However, we are going to make one now, so you might want to just keep watching. So, I am going to wrap these two statements around curly brace brackets and make them into a block of code. Therefore, for every time this loops around, it will also output the current value, so we can get the value at every single step. Let's change this back to less than 10 and go for it. Well, let's make this a little bit more readable by adding a line break. If you remember, it is /n is the line break character when you are streaming in character data. So let's go for it again. And yes, this time we can see that it's gone value 2, value 3, value 4, value 5, all the way up to 10. So that kind of demonstrates that it is indeed looping through this program multiple times. What if you want to perform a loop, but you want it to perform at least once? You never want it to just go through, get to the while loop and just be like, oh, this is not true, just ignore this. You want it to at least to execute these statements one time. Well, you can do that using the do while loop, which works very similarly to the while loop, except from you shuffle things around a little bit. So I'm going to keep this for reference in a comment, just so I can copy it out in a do-while form. So, the way a do-while loop works is you first write do at the beginning of just before your statement. So you write do, then you write your statement, and then directly after your statement, you put while. And then you open up the brackets and you just put in your expression, which in this case, it was less than 10. Now, here we should receive the exact same result, because regardless, this expression's always going to come out true the first time round. So let's run it. Oops, forgot a semicolon. Sorry about that. And yep, it comes out exactly the same. However, if I do what we did before and make this expression come out to be false the first time, it will still run the first iteration, which should make value 2. And it does, because it runs through this once, because this is a do while. It does this statement, and then it evaluates whether it should go back to the beginning here. And it repeats this until this comes out as false. Excellent. So that's really the only things we have to go over today. Very short lesson. Next time we're going to try and go over for loops, and then sometime soon in the future we'll go back to our calculator program and enhance it greatly with multiple options so the user can pick what they want to do and then put in the values and things, so we can build our first multifunctional program that does not just follow one straight line, straight kind of sequence of statements. Okay, guys, see you later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.